So I think that. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kaizen Reading Group. We've been reviewing Atomic Habits for quite a while now, and as Dr. Habits, we are on chapter 17, which is how an accountability partner can change everything. Right. Last week we reviewed a chapter that says how to stick with good habits every day, and that was done by Zainab Eleshi and Ufoma Akwebu Muradeyo together, right? So this week we're reviewing accountability and how an accountability partner can change everything, and my beautiful reviewer is Hilda. Thank you for having our back. All right, so we're back. All right, so personally, I read this chapter, and I would say the first page of the chapter would will leave you hooked, right? So, but I'm not going to, be sharing any nuggets right now. I'll leave Hilda to give us all the nuggets and all the juice in this chapter. After which we would take other people's opinion and and their reviews or their ideas or suggestions, whatever they learn from it, their lessons, and we'll call it a wrap. Thank you very much, Hilda. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ron. Good evening. Please, am I audible now? Is it okay?
It's better than it's better than before. I
It's
think
better than before. Okay,
yes.
okay. I'm just okay. Switch to headset. Okay,
Okay.
so we're
Is it
actually
yeah, audible?
reviewing the. Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. So we're reviewing the final chapter for the fourth law, which is make it satisfying. But this evening, this week, our focus is on how an accountability partner can change everything. So the author, James Clear, started this chapter with his usual anecdotes, but this time around, this was a very, very funny story. So it was a story about an ex-serviceman, Fisher, who had like the craziest idea on how to stop nuclear wars. So his idea was that a chip will be planted in the heart of someone, and then this chip that will be planted will be the chip to trigger the nuclear bombs. So for a president to give the directive for a location or another country to get nuked, what will happen is that the president will actually have to shoot this person in the heart. So as crazy as the idea might seem, I believe the entire point of this idea was that the president or whatever world leader is in charge at that point in time would feel a direct impact, the direct repercussion of the decisions that he has made. Are we together? Sorry, are we
Yes,
together?
we are.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so when we look at this entire scenario of get of facing a direct repercussion, like an immediate effect of what we do, brings us down to a sort of inversion of the fourth law, which is make it immediately unsatisfying. So when we say make it immediately unsatisfying, if we read the chapter, we see that what we're trying, I think it's even the law is quite clear. I think what we're trying to bring out there is that if you are going to stop a bad habit, there has to be an immediate effect of that bad habit on you. For instance, now you know how some of us, like me, like junk foods. I like chocolate a lot. So definitely chocolate is not good for your health. But because I cannot see an immediate effect, like at that point in time that I'm taking that chocolate, I cannot see the immediate effect of that chocolate. It doesn't bother me. I keep taking it anytime. So our point now is that we're going to come up with as people who are trying to build ourselves, we're going to come up with a way for us to feel the immediate repercussion. I'm not saying we should punish ourselves, but an immediate repercussion for our bad habits. This way we tend to stop it. For instance, if I have the habit of texting while I'm walking on the road, while I'm walking on the road, I'm supposed to be focused. I keep texting on my phone while walking. If I trip one day and fall, and then maybe I sprain my ankle, next time when I'm walking, my phone will be in my bag because the last time I did it, I fell, something like that. Okay, so another very, very realistic scenario again. Okay, so when my baby sister was a lot younger, she used to suck her thumb. I know this is something children do a lot. She used to suck her thumb a lot. So what my mom did then, my mom wrapped plaster, the plaster we usually use for our wound. She wrapped it around her two thumbs so that when my sister puts her thumb in her mouth to suck it, she will taste a coarse and bitter taste. So by the time she puts the thumb in her mouth and then it's not what she's used to, she will bring it out. So we did this, I think, for about a month, and she dropped the habit because she associated putting that thumb in her mouth to that bitter taste. So because as a baby, she knew that every time she puts the thumb in her mouth, there's a bitter taste. She stopped putting the thumb in her mouth. So that's basically what we're trying to do here. We're trying to associate our bad habits, to drop these bad habits. We're trying to associate it with immediate effects to help us drop it. Now, sometimes we may not always be able to do things like this to bring this immediate dissatisfaction on our own. Sometimes we need an accountability partner. You understand? So an accountability partner isn't honestly for this chapter we looked at accountability partners in the view of like dropping bad habits. So accountability partners are also used. We also work with them to build good habits as well. So the thing is, as human beings, because how do I put it now? Maybe because we're probably self-conscious, or because we're trying to nurse our own ego or something like that. So we are not always true to ourselves. So maybe sometimes when you're trying to drop a bad habit, you don't always tell yourself how it is. Maybe you keep giving yourself excuses. But when you bring somebody else into the picture, an accountability partner that holds you accountable, basically in the name, holds you accountable to your words and to your actions. We're better off. We're able to either build that bad habit or we're able to drop the bad habit. Understand? So now in the concept of getting accountability partners, take for instance, I don't know how many of us should maybe Piggyvest or Carrywise, for instance, for saving now. So if you are using Piggyvest or Carrywise, these financial bodies now they serve as accountability partners for we that are trying to save. So in an instance where maybe you put a particular money, you save it in your account, you know that if you want to withdraw it, they will charge you a particular amount as for breaking your it's called breaking your savings. They'll charge you a particular amount for breaking your savings. Exactly. So the point of charging you for breaking your savings is to dissuade you from drawing that money. So they are holding you accountable that this money you have taken out now, they're actually bringing out your savings, and to dissuade you, they are going to charge you a particular amount. So normally, if it were even maybe the safe lock feature and you're supposed to get an interest and you pull your money out before the due date, they won't give you the interest you're supposed to get. So by the time you want to withdraw your savings, you start to think twice about doing that because your accountability partner is already holding you responsible, and there's an immediate effect you are going to feel for breaking that bad habit. Now, so sometimes maybe at home with our spouse, but for those of us that are married or maybe we have close siblings with us, we can have our accountability partners hold us to even the smallest things. Let's say you are trying to eat healthy. So you can tell maybe your wife, for instance, that okay, any day she sees you eating junks, you have to, or maybe she sees you eating fatty foods, you have to give her 5K for instance. So for every time you take fatty food and she sees you, you have to transfer 5K to her. So by the time you do that, by the time you lose quite a substantial amount of money, your body will calm down, basically. So now James Clear introduced a much stricter concept in this part in this chapter, which I actually personally think is a stretch. I personally think is a stretch, and that's the habits contract. So in a case where you are looking to build an even stricter habit, maybe what you're looking at now is, let's take a religion for instance, our faith. You want to build a closer relationship with God. You might even bring in a habit contract, you understand? Or if it's a health issue, for instance, and you're trying to build healthy habits, you might bring in a habit contract. So a habit contract is like any other contract you sign, but this time around it's between you and your accountability partner. It is written in your own words that okay, um, every morning by 6 a.m. I'm supposed to wake up. I'm supposed to wake up and do my prayers and do my morning exercise. If I do not, this is what is going to happen, basically. So by the time we sign this contract, basically, if you're not able to keep to your word, your accountability partner refers you, basically, refers you to the past contract that you signed and let you know that this is in your words. You signed this and you're supposed to do this, you understand? And these are the repercussions. So yes, you have to basically pay up at the same time. So, but I'm not actually, I don't believe this contract should come in my own opinion though. I don't believe this contract should come in when it's not such a serious situation. Maybe if it's a case of hitting the gym or something, I don't think a habit contract should come in. But if you want to take something really, really dire seriously, it's like when, as I used earlier on, when we're trying to save with maybe careers or people, there's that agreeing to terms and conditions and everything, and agreeing to the fact that if you break your savings before a particular date, they will charge you, something like that is basically the idea of a habit contract. So all in all, as what because it's not just about reading, we're supposed to take in everything we learn at every step of this book, Atomic Habits, into ourselves. So in whatever habits, I know we all have, we might not want to mention it on the call, but we all basically have our bad habits. So in whatever bad habits that we have, it's always advisable to have someone who holds you accountable and not someone who is going to pity you and will not tell you the truth. Somebody who is going to lie and build ourselves positively, build ourselves, become better people. And then 2026 is coming. We are going to write New Year resolutions. It's advisable that while we're writing this New Year resolution, we actually get an accountability partner. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hilda. That was very calmly explained. Thank you so much. Um, okay, so first, if there's anybody that wants to share their opinion or share one or two things from this chapter or anything at all, please raise your hand. We'll ask you to unmute your mic and we'll have your take. All right? While we're doing that, first, I just want to talk about Fisher's idea. I don't know if anybody wants to debate it, but personally, I love it. Right? It is holding the most senior person in a nation accountable for what he's about to do to thousands of other people. So I feel like if he can take the way James Clear narrated it here, he said the person they should sew the launch code into the person's body, and the person should be walking around with He said the person should walk around with a heavy butcher's knife, right? And when the president needs the launch codes, the president should have to first kill that human being and take to get the launch code, then now use it. If he can do that, if he can conveniently kill that person and take the launch code, then he can, I mean, go ahead, press the button and wipe out the whole nation, if you will, right? That is a very, very um that's a high level of accountability for himself and for the nation, right? And I think I like Visual's idea. I mean, I don't think they went ahead with Visual's idea, and that's why we still have it the way it is. I mean, launch code is just in a box and handcuffed to whoever is holding it every time they need it. All right. So this chapter was actually, I mean, the topic says how an accountability partner can change everything. They gave two examples of a person that a man that just gave birth to a child and he wanted to, you know, make a new habit of make a new healthy habit and he had his wife and his trainer as his accountability partner, where if they did the whole habit contracting, and if he falls to the contract, he has to pay a fine. Personally, I think it's a very nice idea, and it can be used anywhere. I mean, just it's nice, right? But you have to. Then again, you can try to play funny around it, but it just gives you the level of seriousness, knowing that okay, if I don't do this, then I have to do that, right? I have to pay this amount. I have to get he said get that an immediate punishment if you do not an immediate punishment if you do not carry out the habit, or if you do not carry out the task you're supposed to do in helping you to achieve your helping you to achieve that goal that you're striving towards. So another thing that stuck with me was the cost of procrastination must be greater than the cost of the action. And he also says the cost of laziness must be greater than the cost of exercising. So recently I've been going to the gym. I've not gone to the gym in I've stopped exercising in a very I mean about 3-4 years ago, and recently I've been picking it back up. The first day I went, the first week I went to the gym and I did a couple of exercises. I came back home and I couldn't walk. Like I could barely get out of bed. I mean, any reasonable person, I literally paid them to, I actually paid to use the gym, but I'm in so much pain, right? And I just feel like, okay, I need to actually do this again so that I can be better, right? So that just tells you that, I mean, I can decide to not go to the gym again, but that would be me being lazy. And the cost of laziness, like I said, must be greater than the cost of exercise. I think that one stuck with me very well, and I really, really like it. Then, um, okay, another part is the more immediate the pain, the less likely the behavior. Repeat bad habits because they serve us in some way. Yeah, so we all know that bad habits they're nice. There's this it's like a honeycomb. They're always sweet in the end, right? And that's what makes it hard for us to drop it. Most times we just want to, keep going, keep having our teeth, keep enjoying ourselves, or just be engaging in it, right? It is as sweet as it is, but and stopping it is really, really hard. It doesn't, I mean, doing hard things is not really, really interesting. So that's another one that I like. And this is the fourth law, which says make it immediately unsatisfying. So whichever habits that you want to drop, or you don't want to do again, you have to do two things according to this chapter. You have to make it immediately unsatisfying, make it irritating, make it disgusting to yourself, right? And if you do that and that doesn't work, or you can also do that and also sign a habits contract with an accountability partner that's going to help you monitor and guide your steps towards discontinuing that habit. If anybody has anything I want to share, just raise your hand and we would have you. Thank you.
So, no, I have something to add. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so thank you so much, Hilda, for that fantastic review and Odun. This particular chapter is something that is very good. In addition, and it's building on to what we have been learning before. The approach that James Clear adopted in this book is so good because one of the principles of I have an idea of, I speak a bit of Arabic. So one of the principles in Arabic is to say that wabididiha tatamayyazul ashya. The meaning in English is by the opposite, you establish the reality. Meaning that if you understand something to be a particular thing, understanding what that thing is not will give you a good understanding of that concept. So let me give an example. You want to be a good person. Oh, for you to be a good person, you must be kind, you must be light-hearted, you must be soft-spoken, you must be respectful. Those are the positive things, right? For you to really appreciate what it means to be negative, you need to understand what an evil person is. Meaning that someone that is arrogant, that is rude, that is nonchalant. So you appreciate it more. And that's why he has established the positive ones, which are the habits, how to build positive habits. He has also started, and I think is now on the fourth law, on the make it unsatisfying, which is the negative or the inverse of building a good habit. So we need to, and the two principles taught here is accountability partner. For me, my accountability partner primarily is my wife because I spend more time with her. And then I now have other friends, family, and colleagues that they help me, they keep me honest. The truth is that I've taken so much feedback from my accountability partner, and I'm also very honest and transparent because I know all of the feedback will help me. I was having a conversation with a colleague this week, and she said that one of the things that she observed about me is I've taken too many feedback, and she believes that I work on them and it's helping me. So accountability partner is something that is like your mirror. So we need to be very transparent with them. Why you choose someone, don't deceive yourself by picking someone you know you can easily bully out of the way. Someone you can easily just say, leave me alone, and the person will leave you alone. You need to pick an accountability partner that is truly, genuinely interested in your progress and interested in that. So, for example, you want to stop smoking, you picked an accountability partner that is a smoker, that's also struggling to keep. So you will not get it right. But you want to pick an accountability partner for smoking. You pick someone that you know this person really hates smoking and this person cannot stand it. Yeah, and then you really need to be honest with the person and tell the person, guy, I've just smoked today, or I've broken my principles, and the person will need to help you. Just the same way you want to start reading. Your accountability partner should not be someone that hates reading, right? So you want to go to the gym, you want to be physically fit, you want to eat healthy, but you're picking the wrong person. So it's as if you are just setting up yourself for failure. So what I'm adding today is making it unsatisfying through accountability partner means that you need to be very deliberate to pick the right person. You need to be very deliberate, not to starve the person with information to help you. And you need to give the person a positive vibe such that the person will feel comfortable to scold you, quote and unquote, or encourage you or push you to do the right thing. So we need to be deliberate. Building a good habit is good, like we have seen that James Clear emphasized, but also breaking a bad habit is something we should do very deliberate, so that at the end of the day, we're making progress from positive, we're also reducing negative, which is also pushing us towards positive. All in all, we are landing in a positive zone. Thank you, Odun, Lukman, and Hilda. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that serious and short back to back you've just given us. We really appreciate it. He hits nail on the head. All right. We are 79 minutes into the session, and as you know, we are very time conscious people here. So we'd like to call it a wrap. Please make it a meeting with us next week, Saturday, where we'll be reviewing the next chapter, which is the truth about talent. Well, we'll be reviewing that, and also please follow us on our social media handle, and feel free to also comment, share your ideas, and stir up a debate. We'll enjoy it any and every time. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of the weekend.